Mangalore is on edge after two people were killed in police firing during protests against the Citizenship Amendment Act on Thursday. The killings in the coastal town took place during clashes between police and protesters. A curfew has been clamped across Mangalore till December 22nd. Internet services have also been suspended for 48 hours to contain the protests. Schools and colleges are closed today in the town. The state's Home Minister has defended the police action, saying the cops acted only after stone pelting and arson. He also claimed that outsiders triggered the violence. Meanwhile, politics has erupted over the violence in Mangalore. While the BJP has accused the Congress of inciting violence, the Congress and the JDS have hit back at the ruling party for the deaths.
ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ಹಿಂಸಾಚಾರ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಕಲ್ಲು ತೂರಾಟ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಚ್ಚಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಡೀಪ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರಸಿ. ಪಕ್ಕದ ಕೇರಳದಿಂದ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥ ಜನ ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳೆದ 3-4 ದಿವಸದಿಂದ ಜಮಾ ಆಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಸಾಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ತೊಡಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಲಾಠಿ ಚಾರ್ಜು ಆಶ್ರಯವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಮಂಗಳೂರು ನಾರ್ತ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಗೆರವು ಹಾಕಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಸುಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಹುನ್ನಾರ ನಡೆದಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಬಲ ಪ್ರಯೋಗ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು.
My colleague Nolan Pinto is now joining me live on this story. Nolan, when the authorities say that these were outsiders who had joined the protests and were killed in police, who were these people who died in police firing? What are they saying?
Well, good morning. In fact, what happened in Mangalore yesterday was, well, extremely nasty. In fact, when we spoke to the police commissioner of Mangalore, what he said was initially is that after having a meeting with all the Muslim communities yesterday in the night, they promised that they would not protest because Section 144 was, of course, imposed. He says, however, in the afternoon, things took a turn for the worst. Suddenly, a mob basically started to approach various police stations, pelting stones, sticks and bottles. He said in one particular case, when they actually tried to attack a police station, the police had no other option but to resort to violence, to fire. They fired in the air. He said even though they fired in the air, the mob started to approach menacingly towards the police station, and then they had to fire once more. So the police commissioner says in this two people were injured. As of now, what the police are saying is that only after the post-mortem is conducted for these two individuals, one age 23 and the other age 49, will they be able to ascertain if they really died of bullet injuries. But when the Home Minister last night, who was in Delhi, spoke about the outsiders, he said that people from Kerala actually came over there and instigated the youth and the others with propaganda of wrong information. And this is what happened. Now, they are also blaming the Congress, and one can't actually say they are wrong because day yesterday, Congress MLA Uttar actually incited them. This is exactly after Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa, while speaking to the media, said that CAA will be implemented in Karnataka from January. Now, Uttar, the Congress MLA from Ullal in Mangalore, he said that I heard on social media this is what's happening. We have seen how the entire country is burning, but if the government over here led by B.S. Yediyurappa implements CAA in Karnataka, then Karnataka will also burn. So this is what the BJP said. You incite the people, okay. And when Section 144 is imposed, of course they are going to come out and create havoc. So that is what happened in Mangalore. But in Bengaluru, in spite of people actually going against Section 144, they came out, but it was peaceful.
Absolutely. So the political blame game continues in the backdrop of loss of 2 lives in the anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protest. Nolan, thank you for bringing us all of those details. Uttar Pradesh is on the edge now after a person was killed in firing during widespread protests against anti-Citizenship Amendment Act, while Section 144 has been imposed across Uttar Pradesh to maintain law and order. Authorities have suspended internet in various parts of the state. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has reviewed the security situation on Thursday evening. The internet services have been snapped in Meerut, Lucknow, Ghaziabad, Aligarh, Agra and several other places. Police detained 200 people in Prayagraj and booked 1,000 for violence. In Varanasi, 73 people were held for violence, out of which 4 were released on bail. The authorities in the state are on alert today in view of the Friday press.
An Uttar Pradesh Road Transport Corporation bus set on fire in Sambhal. Several government vehicles damaged in massive stone pelting and protests against the Citizenship Amendment Act. The protests were not restricted just to Sambhal. In Lucknow's Hassanganj area, a police post was set on fire by the mob. Several police motorcycles and vehicles were also torched.
Khudra Bazaar, you can see that heavy stone pelting has taken place here. A lot of stones are lying on the road, and even the shoes and slippers of the people who were protesting here are also lying.
The protesters then spread to the Parivartan Chowk area in the heart of Lucknow. For several hours, the mob fought pitched battles with a woefully ill-prepared Uttar Pradesh police. The men in khaki repeatedly retreated. On loud hailers, the police also urged the mob not to resort to violence. Later in the afternoon, a mob assembled at the Parivartan Chowk and targeted police vehicles. Some in the mob were reportedly carrying petrol in bottles and set vehicles, including media outdoor broadcast vans, on fire.
तो जो भी जिम्मेदार होगा उसकी जवाबदेही भी तय करेंगे। इस हिंसा में लिप्त प्रत्येक तत्व की प्रॉपर्टी को जब्त करेंगे और उस जब्त से सार्वजनिक संपत्ति को हुए नुकसान या कहीं पर पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी को जो डैमेज किया गया है, इसकी भरपाई भी हम उन सभी उपद्रवियों से करेंगे।
The police resorted to lathi charge and fired multiple tear gas canisters to disperse protesters amidst allegation of use of disproportionate force to deal with the protesters. With Shivendra Srivastav and Nilanshu Shukla in Lucknow, Bureau Report, India Today.
My colleague Nilanshu Shukla is now joining me live from Lucknow on the story. Nilanshu, given the widespread protests and how they turned violent in several parts of Uttar Pradesh yesterday, how is the administration tackling the situation on the ground right now?
Polumi, last night flag march was conducted in all the sensitive areas of the state, including the state capital Lucknow, and there was heavy security deployment in the old city area of the state capital, where the maximum violence took place yesterday. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a video conferencing with all the top administrative and police officials, and they have been directed to ensure that they are on high alert and adequate security arrangements are made across the state so that no untoward incident takes place. One person has died in the violence that took place yesterday, and the family members have claimed that he died in the police firing. However, UP DGP OP Singh has issued a statement saying that not a single bullet was fired by the police. Only tear gas shells were used to disperse the protesters, and also the cops resorted to lathi charge. 3 other people are undergoing treatment right now at trauma center. Some cops have also sustained injuries. They also undergo treatment at the civil hospital in Lucknow. Overnight also some protesters have been detained from the old city area. However, there is no official confirmation on the number. So the entire state right now is on high alert. Internet services have been suspended in many parts of the state, including the state capital Lucknow, and the cops have been deployed in all the major intersections of the state capital as well.
Right, Nilanshu, thank you so much for bringing us all of those details. Now, amid nationwide protests over the citizenship law, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has dared the Modi government to hold a referendum on both the Citizenship Amendment Act and NRC. While addressing her fourth rally in Kolkata on Thursday, Mamata said that the UN is an impartial organization and that a referendum should be held under its supervision. She added that if the Modi government loses the referendum, it should step down. The Ministry of External Affairs responded to Mamata's controversial remarks, saying CAA is an internal matter of India and that there can be no foreign intervention. Mamata's remark also drew sharp response from West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankar, who urged the Bengal Chief Minister to withdraw her statement. Lashing out at Mamata, BJP blamed her for unrest in Bengal and demanded that she should resign.
এই সিআই ইস্যুর উপর সিএবি এবং এনআরসি ইস্যুর উপর সারা ভারতবর্ষে একটা গণভোট হয়ে যাক, আপনি করবেন না, ইউনাইটেড নেশনস করবে। একটা ইম্পার্শিয়াল অর্গানাইজেশন, লেট দেম প্লে এ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট রোল। ইউনাইটেড নেশনস, হিউম্যান রাইটস কমিশন, ইম্পর্টেন্ট যারা এক্সপার্টস, তাদের নিয়ে একটা কমিটি হোক। তৃণমূলেরও থাকার দরকার নেই, বিজেপিরও থাকার দরকার নেই, অন্য পার্টিরও থাকার দরকার নেই, হিন্দু মুসলমান শিখ খ্রিস্টান কোনো কমিউনিটি থাকার দরকার নেই। আমরা চাই তারা একটা গণভোট সংগঠিত করুক ভারতবর্ষে। আমরা দেখতে চাই কটা লোক মানছে আর কটা লোক মানছে না। যদি না মানে বলুন রেজিগনেশন করতে বাধ্য হবেন।
जिस प्रदेश का मुख्यमंत्री इधर सड़क पर आकर आंदोलन करे और लोगों को गुमराह करे, तो फिर उस प्रदेश में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर कैसे मेंटेन होगा। मैं बहुत जवाबदारी के साथ, गंभीरता के साथ ममता जी पे आरोप लगा रहा हूं कि 13 दिसंबर को उन्होंने सीएए बिल का विरोध किया। 14 तारीख को जुम्मे की नमाज के बाद से घुसपैठियों ने इस प्रदेश में अशांति फैलाई है। इसकी सारी जिम्मेदारी प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री ममता जी के ऊपर है। और मैं समझता हूँ जिस प्रकार का कृत्य वो कर रही है, स्वयं आंदोलन कर रही है, उन्हें 1 मिनट भी मुख्यमंत्री बने रहने का अधिकार नहीं है।
Now, prohibitory orders under Section 144 will continue to remain imposed in Bengaluru till today. Bengaluru police said, in fact, that 24 people have been booked and 8 cases have been registered in connection with protests held in the city on Thursday in defiance of Section 144. The case has also been registered against renowned historian Ramchandra Guha. Meanwhile, a third petition has been filed in the Karnataka High Court opposing the imposition of Section 144. The matter will be heard by the court today. Remember, thousands took to the streets of Bengaluru to protest against the Citizenship Amendment Law on Thursday. This even as Bengaluru police imposed Section 144 across the city and cancelled permissions for protests. Historian Ramchandra Guha was also detained by the police when he came to protest at the town hall. In fact, India Today's consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai spoke to historian Ramchandra Guha on the anti-CAA protests.
Right, our continuing focus on the protests that have taken place across the country today against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Now, one of the videos that has gone viral is this morning, Ramchandra Guha, one of the country's preeminent historians, being jostled and detained in Bengaluru. He now joins us. Appreciate your joining us, Dr. Guha. Let me play that video for a moment. This is what happened this morning to you. As you were speaking to the media, you're being pulled away by the police. I trust you're hale and hearty after that day that you've spent in detention. But tell us what happened this morning, Ram. What exactly happened this morning?
So I went in the morning to register my citizens' protest against this absolutely discriminatory and anti-constitutional act. There were a few people there. I went alone. I was carrying a poster of Gandhiji, then a poster of Ambedkar. Then someone from the media wanted to talk to me, and I said, I am here as a student and scholar of Gandhi and of the founding values of this republic, which this law and this regime is violating. They are polarizing Hindus and Muslims, North India and South India, Hindi speakers and non-Hindi speakers. And I have come here to register my peaceful protest to honor the spirit of Gandhi, on whom I have spent 20 years writing a 2-volume biography. At this stage, a policeman came and I said, they want to arrest me. I said, look, I know the law. I am speaking alone. Forget what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking non-violently about Gandhi. I'm speaking alone. I'm not even breaching section 144. That person went away. Then another reporter asked me a question. I elaborated my answer, and then I was, as you saw, dragged away into that van.
No, but you're saying that you were there on your own, or were you part of a group that was protesting at the town hall in Bengaluru? Because the police says there was section 144 in place, and therefore it was necessary to detain you.
Yes, yes. Let me tell you, I was not violating section 144 because before this incident, several of us walking to town hall, a policeman said, and I looked at him, I said, we are 4 of us, we are not violating any section. Then I went off alone. So what they did to me, as it happens, was completely illegal. But in some ways, I'm glad and relieved they did that, because when we went to the detention center and more people joined us, it was wonderful to see such an energized, diverse crowd committed only to the values of the Constitution, regardless of the diverse clothes they happen to wear that day. Like, look at the way I'm dressed, people dressed in very different ways. So it was the young people, men, women, people of all faiths, of all professions. There were students, there were trade unionists, there were lawyers, there were professors. And I was so energized to see this kind of protest, which was dignified, respectful, non-violent. And there was absolutely no reason to impose section 144. Earlier today, I tweeted when, or maybe late last night, when I heard about the police commissioner, I tagged this tweet and I said, sir, what you're doing is going to get us a bad name. This is not what we want. You know the history of Bangalore. We had a previous protest at town hall 3 days ago, but I was there again. It was completely knee-jerk, exaggerated reaction, I suspect coming from Delhi ordering Bangalore what to do.
Now, amid nationwide unrest over the contentious citizenship law, violence was witnessed at several places across the country. But there were also instances which sent out a message that violence was not the only way. DCP of Bengaluru Police, Chetan Singh Rathore, sought a noble way to pacify the agitators who had gathered to protest against the contentious citizenship law. The top cop reasoned with the protesters how some miscreants may take advantage of the situation and create nuisance. He asked the protesters to sing the national anthem with him if they trusted him, after which all the protesters left the protest site. Again in Delhi, some participants at Jantar Mantar handed out roses to security personnel. The police meanwhile offered refreshments to the detained protesters in the national capital.
अभी एक से एक मैं बात करूंगा तो हम बहुत अच्छे से बात करते हैं। जब एक और ग्रुप के साथ बात होता है तो मॉब मेंटालिटी आ जाती है। मॉब मेंटालिटी में छुपा हुआ कोई भी बदमाश हम आंखों से टेस्ट नहीं कर सकते, वो हम में से ही कोई छुपा होगा और उसने इसका फायदा उठा लिया तो पीटेंगे हम सब। सही बात। अब अगर मुझ पे भरोसा है तो मैं एक गाना गाऊंगा और उस गाने में मेरे सारे देशवासी मेरे साथ खड़े होंगे।
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.